BOLAS Sports Review, where every play breaks through. BOLAS Sports Review, the game, the glory, the truth. BOLAS Sports, review it, feel it, live it. BOLAS Sports, every legend starts here.
Oh, yes, yes, viewers. Thanks for tuning into our podcast today. In this podcast, we're going to deep dive into the just concluded tour of India by West Indies. So, we're going to take a look at some of the lessons we have learned, which would help us in the future.
India has one of the strongest batting lineup globally. Superstar like Kohli, Gill provide both experience and flair. The team often has match winning at every position, making them resilient even after early wickets.
Yes, I must agree with you, Bolas. We have seen where even after the exit of Kohli, he didn't feature in this just concluded Test series. There were other batsmen who held their hands up. So there's no shortage of young talent in India. So we take note of that. The openers, they are a formidable pair, and you see where they put on huge partnerships playing against us. Now we must commend them. Yes, sir.
And what I think is that the India batsmen have, even in the last series against West Indies, some of the young players have 50s and centuries, while West Indies players like him, John Campbell, his first test century was against India after a lot of years. Hope 50 had done a fifth century in the last 8 years. White ball, so those are the problem. Exceptional bowling attack.
Before you go on, I must say that the domestic setup in India is of such that it will produce young talent because they have a very robust system there that shows up good players. The domestic setup is of such that it cannot be compared with us in the West Indies. They are playing match from a tender age. Those 10-year-old, 12-year-old, they are in heated competition, and it hardened them. And by the time they reach 15, 20, they face a lot of balls, and which it's quite evident in their play in the test arena right now.
Well, once India was known as for batting dominance only. India now boasts a balanced bowling unit like Bumrah, Shamari, and Sanjay from a world-class combination.
Yes,
Spin that like
I must say something about their bowling.
Yeah.
I must say something about their bowling. In the past, India was known as the producer of real good spin bowlers, but now they are even putting out good fast bowlers. Bumrah is one of the leading fast bowler in today's in today's World Cup, in today's world cricket. I must say, yeah, man. In today's world, he's a world class cricketer, world class fast bowler, very accurate. Those Yorkers, those toe crushing Yorkers, something to speak about. So we see where India is producing fast bowling of high quality. So no longer can we limit them to just spinners.
So fitness and fielding standard. India focus on fitness and athleticism as dramatically improved fielding standard like players like Jadeja, Kohli, and Iyer are among the best fielders globally. The team saved many runs through direct hit and boundary saving dives. What do you say?
Yes, of note, we have seen where the fielders, they're brilliant. They catch well out in the deep. They have good arms of such that something to behold. Yes, so you can see that they stress a lot on the fielding aspect of the cricket.
Jamaica know that say they hand straight.
Yes, man. Yes, man. They're very accurate in their throw, especially from out in the deep.
Jamaica, West Indian. Another thing, West India don't do the amount that dives to stop a ball as India.
Yes, we have seen where the Indians, they are willing to throw themselves around. Yeah, they throw themselves around in the deep, and that is a plus for them.
So another thing with India now, India technical and analytical advancement, and that coaches like Dravid and special coaching effectively. Batters planning against opposition batters and bowler have improved in India consistently across formats.
I have noticed what I have noticed is that those Indian players, they do a lot of video analysis. You know, they will go in with videos, look at their opponents, study them, how they play, and as a result, they know their weaknesses.
Yeah, they do that a lot. Another thing with India, the strength of their bench strength.
Yes, but they have depth.
Yeah,
They have depth because if you notice, bowlers, those Indian team, they can find a third string team,
exactly.
and they are able to compete.
You see,
That speaks well to the depth of their bench.
You see, one of the rise of India team is the rise of the Indian Premier League, what they call IPL, has created a massive talent of players. Youngsters like Singh, Verma are already replacement for senior players. India can field two competitive 11 with strength, So that's one of them big advantage.
A year or so ago, there was this young teenage sensation, batting sensation. He was coming through. He created a stir. A lot of people talking about him, and that speaks volume to the depth of their system and the players that they have in reserve, waiting in the wings. And with a T20 World Cup coming up next year in their neck of the woods, I should regard them as one of the key contender, or maybe even the favorite to take home that trophy. With the amount of players they have, that pool, a large pool of players they have to choose from.
Yeah, and another key point with India, their mental resilience and their big match temperament, The team has shown mental strength in tough situation.
Very true.
Yeah,
Very true. And not many teams can boast of going to Australia and beating them there.
Yes,
And we've seen it.
like 2001 at the Gabba test win in Australia with injury hit squad in a injury hit squad. Then beat England, beat Australia.
And even in the current series over there now, they are playing a series over there now, and India is making a good fight of it. They are mentally tough, you know, and they are
Yeah,
able to compete at the highest level,
yeah.
notwithstanding
See, players.
their.
What I think I noticed about them, they thrive under pressure, often chase
Yes, they
quick
strive.
results and defending tight score. So that is one of them. That's a lot, a lot that we learn from them, and their leadership and team culture, infrastructure and support system. India Cricket Board, name what they call BBCI, provide world-class infrastructure, top-gear domestic tournaments, and player welfare program, training facility,
Well,
fitness center.
um, those achievements and those the position of the Indian team. There's no a West Indian setup can compete with India's, because first thing in India they are awash with cash. They have robust support from corporate India, and they have a lot of money over there, so they are able to afford certain facilities that we are not able to. So as a result of that, their performance is of high quality, and those players, they return a contract is good. And if you notice, a lot of those Indian players, they don't play in other T20 franchises all over the world. You know, the board, the BCI, will look after them.
But West Indies were some of the best players in the 80s. What happened to West Indies? No money?
It's Bolas. The quality of our performance cannot be compared with India, because the sponsorship here in West Indies is of such that does not allow us to perform at the level that India is, because there's no money in the kitty here, you know, and the board is not able to give our players that lucrative retainer contract that would keep them here to play, especially in our domestic competition, which would afford the other players here good competition.
Yeah, really. Yeah, that's true.
Hence, they are all over the place playing T20 cricket, and you can't blame them because that's their bread and butter. In India, they don't play those Indian players. They don't go all over the world playing franchise cricket, because they will taken care of at home, well taken care of.
Mhm. So, some areas where we think the Indian cricket team need to improve. So starting the angling of pressure in knockout game. India's often short in ICC tournament knockout despite dominant the group stage. Final and semi-final in World Cup, World T20, and World Test Championship have exposed nervous decision making and over dependence on star players.
Well, we have seen over the years where India has not lifted the trophy as much as we would expect them to be.
Well, one I think is that team need better mental preparation and flexibility under pressure, especially in crunch matches.
Well, I'm not sure if they have a sports psychologist. If not, I would recommend them to have a sports psychologist in their setup, and that will go far way in enhancing their chances in big matches. But they should have a sports psychologist there, I would hope, because they can afford it. It's not for lack of affordability.
So, India with in middle order stability, especially in one day and T20. India has strong openers. In the middle order has been inconsistent since Dhoni left. Finding a consistent finisher remain a challenge. Player like Pandya, Pant, and Sky show promise, but stability and dependability is varied in condition still developing.
Well, on the aspect of Pant, he's a very good player, very good player, very innovative, and on his best day, he can turn a match on his head. So you have Sundar Washington. He's also a class player, batting low down. So India on their best day, they can get it right. It's just that sometimes they, I know as chokers, they tend to fall to pieces on the big occasion. I don't maybe probably they're pressuring themselves because people expect so much from them. You know.
So like in strike rotation, yeah. At time, Indian batters rely too heavily on boundaries and get struck against spin and tight bowling in the middle order. Improving strike rotation and aggressive intent in all phases, especially between 10 to 40 ODIs, is crucial. What do you say?
Between the 10 to 40 over in the ODIs.
Yeah, you see them
Yeah,
get
with a lot of T20, it's reliant on boundary hitting, six hitting, so that has crept into their game. But with a lot of practice, they will overcome that hurdle of rotating strikes because there are more T20 being played now than the 50 over matches.
We are talking about the improvement of we think India need. Another thing is like adapting to overseas condition.
Yes.
In progress, India still struggle away from home, particularly in countries like South Africa, England, New Zealand, Australia. Batting collapse and bouncy or swinging pitches are inconsistent overseas spinners are occurring issue. More practice matches and exposed tour for younger player could help bridge this gap. What do you think?
Yes, I I believe that was a thing of the past because we see we know they are doing well overseas. Because even in England recently, India, they were performing, they are being competitive. In Australia now, they are being competitive. So these young players are now stepping up to the plate, as they would say. So in the past, that was more of a talking point, but nowadays, these young players they are performing better in overseas condition. I would give them that.
Another thing I would say, selection consistency and clear and role clarity. Frequent changes in playing 11 are unclear player role, especially in T20, as disrupt rhythm. India need a clear long-term plan for each format, defining finishes, anchor, and strike bowlers. Better workload for management can also prevent burnout of key players.
Yes, we see where the management is attempting to manage people like Bumrah, you know, because they want to preserve him to serve them longer. So that's a crucial observation.
Yeah,
So
and I hear you say it, I heard you say it on this program where that is vital. Like you say, they should rest seals in the next T20. So very good point.
Yeah, man, West Indies could take a leaf out of India's book how they manage their players. You know, even some crucial matches, they allow their players to miss because they prioritize their well-being ahead of not winning at any cost. So I see they rest Bumrah, they rest Siraj at times. So that's a very good ploy to adopt. And I would urge the West Indies players to do that with some of our players like Seals, especially those players who play across all formats. And we see it where India is a very good exponent of that.
Yeah. Another improvement I see they could the aggressive captaincy and technical innovation. India sometimes play too conservatively, especially in high scoring T20. Technical design like field placement, ball changing, and batting order shift can be too cautious under pressure.
Well, that is something the management would have discussed, and sometimes it will pay off, and on another day it won't. But they have adopted an attitude of being cautious.
Yeah. Another improvement, their wicket keeping and lower order contribution. Since MS Dhoni retirement, India has lacked a stable wicketkeeper batter who contribute consistently. Also, lower order batting, like number 8 to 11, rarely add crucial runs. Sometimes that team like Australia and England have turned into strength.
Well, we have seen where since the exodus of Dhoni, in most cases, is the wicketkeeper that's been employed. When India just concluded series to West Indies, he was injured. I think he met in a car accident
With a punt.
and got his. Could you repeat that?
Well, who you say was injured?
Rishan Pant, I think he had some form of accident and met in a car accident and got his feet broken. As a result, he missed the series, just got through the series against West Indies. So his position was taken up by another wicketkeeper who didn't perform too badly.
Okay.
And the lower order batting, we have people like Sundar Washington, Jadeja. That Jadeja makes century. Washington just make a century earlier this year against in England. So they are in good stead, I would think.
Yeah, and playing
And as soon as Rishabh Pant is back.
And the last two tests against West Indies, most of the last two tests with West Indies, most of those players didn't get to bat.
Yeah, that's so true. They were needed.
Yeah.
They were needed. Mm.
So transition planning and youth integration. India's golden generation like Kohli, Rohit, Jadeja, Ashwin is in its later phase. The team must mature the tech core player like Gill and Sanjay with proper grooming and responsibility. Seymour's transition will be key to maintaining dominance beyond 2026 and 27. What is it?
Well, I'm not worried about the future of India batting, because as I stated earlier, they have a robust domestic season. and they have a lot of young players in the wing. The West Indies, Indian nice players that not even reach 24th and they're scoring centuries, multiple centuries.
Yes.
So they're in good stead. And the bowlers, they have the upcoming fast bowlers coming through, nice spinners coming through. So Indian cricket is in good hands for the future. In a few years, people like Rohit Sharma will be out. You know, you see where Kohli has exited the red ball arena, just not playing ODIs, and he's hardly ever missed.
Thank you guys for watching us here at BOLAS Sports Review. We have created the second portion of this video because it was just too long for one upload, and we value your time, but we just want to make sure you have all this information. So go ahead and click on the video above. It's part 2.
Like, subscribe, and share. BOLAS Sports. Oh, yes.